So I don't know what's going on. Also, if you guys know me from my brief appearance on the reality show, that's nothing of truth at all. That period of my life was completely misconstrued. There were 5 days that were filmed basically nonstop. If you can imagine how much content you get of a person when you're following them with a camera for 5 straight days. There's a lot, and all that needs to be done is you play with the editing and you make that person appear to be different than they truly are. And when there are the reality show has more followers on its socials than hit reality shows like Real World on MTV or other VH1 and BET and E reality shows have on social media. So it brings up a lot of question as to, what was the impact of that slander on my businesses, etc., and so forth. So I always do business under the moniker of GoPro Solo, my umbrella, that's the business, that's the brand, that's the name I applied for my tax ID number on. Every time I try to get with someone to sit down, now I've been working on credit repair for, 5-6 years, self-lender. I had my first prepaid debit card. I got my first auto loan with Capital One, paid my car off entirely, owed them nothing, and then they destroyed my vehicle 2 months later. So I keep on wondering to myself, who benefits from me being kept in an oppressive state? Who benefits from me having no credit of my own? Someone who wants to control me. Who benefits from me having no money or income of my own? Someone who wants to control me. What kind of control do you have over a human being when they have no money of their own? They can't pick their own meals. They can't live where they want. They can't drive what they want. They can't go where they want. Pretty much all power is in the hands of the person with money, which is why in these many, many days that I've spent either walking aimlessly or sitting down in this tent, all I think of are solutions to those problems. How can we create a society or a community that does not depend on money and still be okay, that removes that sort of power and control that any sort of oppressor would be able to have over you. But then I keep seeing these social media personalities who continue to offer credit repair and cleanup, and I get a little hope back. Even though my identity's been stolen, is it possible that someone can help me with my EIN and with, possibly, getting the LLC on my businesses so that I could get back to work and separate my personal identity, which has been so slandered, so degraded, so humiliated, so abused, from my ability to earn income. I deserve that. My children deserve that. No matter what jurisdiction or vicinity we're in, I attempt at the very least to hand them a narrative. Can you remove this? I'm trying to shoot a video.
Blue?
Whatever's causing the walls to cave in, please. Every jurisdiction we're in, I record myself at least attempting to bring them a narrative. The narratives include direct links to all my social medias that show proof of the bludgeonings, of the stabbings, of everything that has taken place. I go back to some of those pages and at times that proof is not there or missing. Then I check again and it's there again. I believe that there are people like Eric Schull who are using their ability to hack technology and manipulate technology to show the proof they want to show to support the storyline they want to support. Either way, there's only one truth. I've never violently attacked a single person in my life. I've never done hundreds of thousands of dollars of fraud. I've never been involved with hundreds of thousands of dollars of fraud. If I've even been sitting next to someone who has been involved or doing in fraud, it would be in a matter of under a few minutes. And you can't, unless you're with someone for years who's doing it, you don't get to those types of numbers. So if I were in the same room as someone doing fraud, it might have been them ordering food, or it might have been them ordering an Uber or something of that nature. I have no knowledge of this for you and nothing else to share. And I've been saying that for 4 years. If I was able to do fraud, do you think that I would be spending my last 4 years in a tent on the side of the road, sleeping in my backseat of my car, starving certain days, having to go into a grocery store and steal a protein bar? No, right? I would not. So, and now that we have sponsors for food, it's like, great, I'm not starving to death I'm still outside in a tent. What am I supposed to tell my children? How do I explain to my children that Dylan coming home, which they knew, was supposed to be the financial assistance that I needed, was supposed to be the physical protection from being trafficked, from being raped, from being robbed, from having our house broken into, and that Dylan just decided to disappear, and now I've been outside ever since, handling all of the blowback from the abusive, nature of that relationship. And was it even really Dylan, the Dylan that I supported through prison, who was beating me and doing all of this, or was it the Dylan that had his neck stepped on and was being, coerced and forced? I don't even care anymore. What I care about is, what do I tell my children so that they know their mother is not just giving up and out here partying it up? I haven't attended a party or been part of a social gathering in years, since Halloween 2000 and probably 20. Nothing about my life has been about me, about healing, about rest, which is what I was promised not only by authorities, but by therapists, by my doctors, by my friends and family. And that's the only thing that I need, is a safe place to live, to not be bullied around, and my own income. Resting and healing doesn't mean I'm not working. It means get the fuck off my neck. I cannot breathe. And that's kind of where I've been. Yesterday, police came again. The police came when we were on our way back from River Grove. And, as we stopped in River Grove after leaving the grocery store that's in Franklin Park. So that's 4 additional police contacts in 2 days. It's absolutely exhausting. It's absolutely detrimental to your stress levels, to the effects on your nervous system. And none of them want to take the narrative. So you're here wondering what I'm doing here. But I've prepared you a typed up document with every police report, or at the very least, the ability to understand what was in the police reports if they don't exist due to this technological boxing or whatever it is, in a paper like this, and I'm passing it out to you. What the fuck do you mean you don't know what to do, or you don't want to accept it, or what am I doing here? What am I supposed to be doing? If I apply to 40 to 100 jobs on average per month, and I have for over 3 years, if I do the same amount of police reports, I've probably filed 40 to 100 police reports in the last year, or police contacts, and attempted to pass them out the narrative, which means on body cam footage, every single police contact remains, right? So they have more than enough. Then I find out last week, as well as yesterday, that Juan Madera Romero is the attacker from the tire iron bludgeoning. Now, 2 weeks before Dylan's release, I was attacked by 3 Mexican girls. My children are Mexican. I speak Spanish. I have no gang affiliation. These girls were saying racial slurs. Dumb white bitch, fuck you. I don't know them. There was no controversy. They picked a fight with me at the prison. I told them, look, I'm not going to run from you, but I will meet you and I'm not going to fight you at, the prison, but I'll go to the gas station where I always fill up my gas, and if you want to do something there, we can talk about it there. And I went there, and instead of it being one girl, like was in the visiting room starting shit with me, she had 2 girls hiding in the back seat. All of them had screwdrivers. All of them jumped out of the car and began stabbing me repeatedly. 3-on-1. I was unarmed by myself, probably wearing something like 4-inch heels, a cute housewife outfit, something adorable, driving my Cadillac that I bent over backwards, working my ass off for. And the people who attack you are always the people driving around in some rust bucket with not $1 in the bank. I'm poor also. I come from humble beginnings. Leave me alone when you see me doing a little bit well, right? Back off. Isn't that how we all feel? Give us space to breathe. Let us take care of ourselves. And unfortunately, that was not the case. I was taken by ambulance to the hospital. My car was left at the gas station. I believe it was low-jacked at that time and mic'd for sound at that time. When I got back to the space, I was dropped off by law enforcement. My clothing had to be chopped off my body because I had so many puncture wounds and I was bleeding from so many locations. They couldn't count them, and they needed that for the police report. I've never been made aware. Now, that woman who did that signed in her license plate number and her state ID to the prison system for a visit right before doing it. They know who she was. Have I received victim services? No, I have not. Have I been reimbursed for any of my lost work, my lost time. I worked only 3 days a week. Both times I was attacked on the weekend when I would be working. On average, $300 to $500 an hour if I was taking in-person consults. If I was doing something over the internet, at least it would be between $5 and $50 an hour on average. So to incapacitate me from earning my own money by violent assault and have law enforcement do nothing about it, and then you attach all of these other violent assaults, the Tampa Bay stalking, the Miami approach, getting punched on the CTA while I was asleep. I'm asleep alone on the CTA during year 3 of this homelessness, a few months before meeting Xavier. And someone punches me on my head, to wake me up, and it was a woman saying, that was him. I don't know why he did that. Want to be friends? And getting in my face. To have no protection from law enforcement for these things. I don't know how to fight. I don't have a weapon. You're putting an unarmed person in a space filled with drug addicts, people who haven't slept in months. It's not safe. I don't do drugs. I don't carry weapons. If I have a pocket knife, I'm lucky to be able to get it open to peel my cucumbers. That's what I carry it for snacks, right? I got punched at Whole Foods for no reason, downtown on Chicago Avenue. So there is something nefarious going on. My name, my likeness, and my character, your personal character, who you are, what you pride yourself on, your goals, your ambitions, it's being, slandered. And they're doing so in a way that creates someone to think they're my enemy. I have no enemies. You don't stab someone for no reason. And when they stabbed me, ambulance came. I was bleeding out everywhere. They cut my clothes off. The police marked my car with little centimeter tape markers of how much blood splatter was all over the place. And then after I left the hospital, they dropped me off in the paper pants and paper shirt that the hospital gave me. Makeup all over my face, not $1 to my name. I don't even know if I had shoes on. And my money and my extra cell phone had been stolen from my glove box of my car. At Montclair, they were breaking into my house on a regular basis, stealing all of my money. They stole about $1,200 the first week I had been there. The first week, $1,200 cash and a couple of outfits. They broke my shower rod off of the wall when I wasn't home. I had to go spend $50 on a Blink security camera, and they disabled it. I went to Grant, who was the booking agent, leasing agent, who I did my lease agreement with and paid money to move in and for my first month's rent. And I said, I haven't even been here a week, and my apartment's been broken into, my food's been stolen, $1,200 cash is missing, and I have police reports for all this. I'd like to leave. And he said, you can go. We'll let you out of your lease, but we're not giving you back your security deposit. I'm sorry, what? What was that? And then we continue paying because I've got nowhere else to go. And they bring 4 fake cops. I call them God of Magog cops. Impersonator cops wearing police uniforms who are not real cops to batter ram my door down and throw me into the street where I've been ever since. I get a job at Getir. I start paying. I'm going to get out right now, babe. I get a job at Getir. I start paying for Airbnbs for Xavier and I. And I get pregnant with twins, likely by rape. I suspect by rape. Xavier says no, but who is he protecting really, right? When someone renders you unconscious and has sex with your body for 6 to 8 hours, that's probably a rape. I don't believe... Xavier takes full responsibility. It was me, babe. It was all me. Yeah, right. Okay. We have sex on the regular, husband. Whether I like it or not. We have sex regularly. Or whether I want to have sex or not, we have sex regularly. And it's not for no 8 hours. Okay? That's for damn sure. So what's going on there? And all of this has been reported to multiple hospitals. Every single officer live stream TikTok, live stream YouTube, live stream Instagram, messages, phone calls. What more am I expected to do as a civilian victim of these issues? I've been on a waiting list for shelter placement with 311, not because I refuse to work. or because I can't earn my own income because I'm being prevented from doing so. I'm not being allowed to do so. I'm being oppressed out of doing so. And that's what's been happening since 2020. I've gotten 21 jobs since that time. I've been lied to, robbed, beaten, chased, threatened out of each and every one. Never been reprimanded at the job, never been told to leave because I wasn't performing well. Nothing like that. So it's incredibly confusing for me. I deserve to be indoors somewhere, warm and safe, working out regularly, taking care of my body, my mind, and my soul, not being held outside in a tent, feeling like there's a chance I could still be being sexually assaulted. It's sad. I'm 6 months pregnant. I need somewhere to live. Sponsors, I've been asking, I don't know if I'm in a tech box again, but I have been asking for $100 for a photo shoot for the last few days, and I haven't really received any response. That's what makes me think I'm in a tech box. I don't ask for money very often from my sponsors, but when I do, I tell them what I need and how much I need. And 9 out of 10 times they make it happen. So it's very confusing for me to be in a new location, be fucked around with again. I haven't been fucked around with by police in months. I've been promised that this whole thing was coming to an end and that I was going to be receiving justice, yet my abuser, the people who did all of this to me, the people who stabbed me, the man who bludgeoned me and for no reason, in broad daylight at a car wash, a stranger bludgeoned me over the head, said that it was because I wouldn't give him a ride to St. Charles. Asked me for a ride, I told him I'd give him a ride to the Metro, not to St. Charles from the city. And he literally just started beating me with his fist, punching me in my head, my face, my arms, my legs. I'm a woman. I don't know how to fight. I've never been in a fist fight in my life. What are you guys doing to me and why? What did I do to deserve this? And he got charged at Maybrook in May of this year, sentenced to supposedly 30 months in prison. Neither him nor the woman who stabbed me, or the 3 of the women, I've never seen them, I don't know their names, and I've not been permitted to attend any of the court dates. That's what victim services are. The victim has the right to be present and testify before a judge and jury as to what their experience was, and the victim has a right to receive compensation for everything she has suffered or he has suffered as a result of the attack. I haven't received a penny. I'm sleeping outside in a tent, separated from my 3 children, 6 months pregnant, possibly by sexual assault,